Back in New York City on NBA TV for our coverage of the 2019 NBA Draft Future Stars presented by State Farm. Steve Smith, Jared Greenberg, RJ Barrett from Duke University here with us. RJ, thanks for taking some time. It's been a big couple of weeks happening in your life. Happy belated birthday to you.
Thank you.
Now,
Thank you very much.
were people in Canada celebrating your birthday? Is that why they took to the streets 2 million strong the other day?
Nah, the Raptors, they just won this championship.
Oh, yeah.
So the whole country's going crazy right now.
Did you feel like people were not honoring your birthday as much because it happened right after the Raptors won the title?
It's okay. I'll let it slide this time, but.
How much, in all honesty, growing up in Canada, how much did it mean to you to see that team do what they did the other day?
I was cheering every game. I grew up a Raptors fan, so I've seen the struggles, and to see them finally, get over the hump and win the chip means a lot.
Well, talk to me, RJ. You're getting a chance, one of the biggest moments in your life to get a chance to get drafted. Just talk about that, everything you've been through, the workouts up until this day. How are you feeling?
I'm feeling great. I feel like all the hard work that I put in is, starting to pay off, and I just can't wait to shake the commissioner's hand.
You made it pretty clear from the get-go where you want to go. You want to be a New York Knick. Is that wavered at all? Have you opened your mind up to the possibility of going elsewhere?
First of all, my mind's opened up to anything. My dream is always to make it to the NBA and play in the NBA, so it doesn't matter what team. But Knicks definitely preferably, for me, with the way the draft's set up, that's where I want to go.
Now, it's come out that Darius Garland's going to work out for them today. Does that put any doubt in your mind about what the Knicks are thinking, where they want to go with the third pick?
No, I'm not worried. Like I said, I'm going to get picked somewhere, so anywhere I'll be happy with.
You talk to me about your game. What I love about it, you're super talented. Skill set, you can play the 1, the 2, the 3. But the way you rebound for your size, where does that come from? You not only grab rebounds, you attack rebounds. And I haven't seen that in a long time from a guy your size, the way you go after. You go after like you're a 5-man.
Yes, sir. Always want to do, what I can to help the team win. I just try to be a complete player. And also, what kind of helps is when you get the rebound, you have the ball. So I go for it. That way I don't have to wait for the point guard to give it to me.
When you talk about that instance, I watched you in high school, watched you play on the circuit. You scored, but at Duke, you could score and facilitate it. Where did that come from?
Kind of always had it, but I've had the fortune of just playing with so many great point guards that it kind of, gets overshadowed. But, at Duke, I was able to be free. Coach K let me play my game, so it was great.
At 6'7", though, you're not the traditional size of a guy that would be able to run the floor like that. How much influence did your godfather, Steve Nash, have on the way you approach the game?
Definitely Uncle Steve and my dad, they always try to make me a complete player, try to, tell me to be very versatile. So that's why you saw me at the point or you saw me at the 4. It didn't really matter. So
we focus on the NBA so much on super teams, and the Raptors just took down maybe the greatest super team of all time in the Golden State Warriors. I'm curious, though, if there are super teams in college. The one you were on was one of the most talented college teams we had ever seen at Duke. While you have the goal of trying to win and coming together for the team, does that oftentimes, whether it's your style of play being forced to change or the stats you put up, does that kind of hurt the way people perceive who you could be at the next level?
For me, I don't think so. I feel like I was able to still play and still do my thing, and I'm gonna be a top pick, So it doesn't really matter at the end of the day. And also, who cares, what people think? When I get to the league, I'm gonna show you what I can do. So that's really it.
Do you feel like, though, in the NBA, parts of your game will be unleashed that weren't able to be unleashed at college because of your teammates?
I feel like when you go to the NBA, you're gonna have better teammates anyway.
Right.
So I feel like if I have the opportunity, yes, it would be shown more.
So everybody's going to nitpick. You know that when you get to the draft. Weaknesses, what he needs to work on. What do you think you need to work on? Not for letting everybody else tell you what you need to work on. What do you think you need to work on?
I always thought that at the next level, even my strengths I need to work on. So really everything, and definitely improving, my jump shot, and definitely improving my right hand, really just all around.
When you talk about your right-handed, I used to hear that you right-handed.
Yeah, I am.
So now everybody's saying you need to work on your right hand, and I know you play left-handed, but talk to me what are some of the things you want to do as far as working with your right hand.
It's funny, I actually prefer to dribble or pass with my right, but like to score better with my left. So I don't really know. It's kind of weird, but I'm just trying to, be able to come off and attack, go straight to the rim, my right, just everything.
So now you're changing up. You're gonna be shooting with your right.
I used to when I was younger, but I stopped.
What hand do you write with?
I write with my right.
What hand do you pick up a fork with?
My right.
Throw a baseball?
Right.
But you shoot lefty.
Yeah.
That's an advantage.
Interesting.
I don't get it either.
Is there any NBA player currently in the league that you look at and you try and maybe study tape, or you watching games, you're like, I could be like him?
I study LeBron and James Harden a lot. I watch a lot of their stuff, especially this summer's been a lot of James Harden. Like you said, they're complete, so why not?
What in particular did you look from one of those guys that you want to add to your game from Harden and LeBron?
Harden shooting off the bounce, and then LeBron really just how he facilitates and plays all around.
Interesting. You excited?
Man, I'm probably the happiest guy in here.
Well, we appreciate you stopping by. We wish you the best of luck. We look forward to seeing you on Thursday as our draft coverage continues.
Thank
Last
you for
question.
having me.
What you wearing?
Good one.
I need to know what you're wearing. You ready?
It's a color that real men wear, that's all I gotta say.
There you go.
Coming out with a pink suit, R.J. Barrett on Thursday night. You've heard it here first. Our coverage continues here from the Grand Hyatt with interviews with some of the top picks in the 2019 NBA draft. Welcome back to New York City, the Grand Hyatt, and the man everybody wants to talk to, Steve Smith. He's right here, Steve Smith. Jared Greenberg, and of course the presumptive number one pick in the 2019 NBA draft, Zion Williamson. Zion, thanks for taking some time with us. You sick of doing these interviews yet, or are you still enjoying this a little bit?
I'm still having fun with it.
Yeah. What is this experience like for you as we inch closer and closer to hearing your name called first overall on Thursday night?
I mean, it doesn't seem real. Like, from them days working out on an outdoor court to like 5 o'clock in the morning, to just a long hour spent traveling like with AAU, to actually know that it's going to pay off tomorrow night it really does not seem real.
Just take me through that. It's all of our dreams when you start playing a game of basketball, and now you get a chance to walk across the stage, and we all know probably be the number one pick. And just take me through when you knew that you had a chance to be a pro player. And how old were you when you knew you had that chance?
Well, my parents saw it in me like when I was a lot younger, but I always try to be realistic about things, and I think I saw it like last year at Duke, like after December, like when I started hearing more and more about how I might have a chance to go like to the NBA draft this year, and I was like, all right, like maybe I actually do have a shot. And now it seems like it's gonna happen, and I can't wait to grab the hat of whatever team selects me.
Is there some part of you that is kind of relieved that this part of it is almost over?
A little bit. It has been a lot, because people basically try to tell me what team I'm going to, and I try to answer the questions to the best of my capabilities. But to know that after Thursday night I'll be able to say I'm a part of this organization.
Well, you can say it now. I mean,
I don't know. What team would that be?
I mean, if the Pelicans don't pick you, then David Griffin will be back working with us here on NBA TV. Let's be honest about that.
And just talk about, did it get a chance to, you played at high school, you played at AAU, got a chance to play at Duke. Now you get a chance to play at the NBA level. What best fits you position-wise, you think, going into the NBA?
I think just reading my matchup, because I think we're in a time of like positionless basketball. So I think whatever my matchup is, I gotta take the best approach to it.
There's been a lot of talk about your body. I feel a little uncomfortable talking about it. It's a little weird. But what do you make of it? And people, whether it's media members or when you do sit down and talk with people in NBA organizations or your trainers that you work with, how important are people making how you work on your body and getting it ready for the NBA game?
It's very important. I'm gonna sit down with the organization that drafts me, and we'll discuss whether it's affecting me or whether it's fine. Because they're the best at what they do, the trainers and stuff. So I'm gonna let them tell me if it's slowing me down or if it's affecting me. and go from there.
Did your injury during the season this year that cost you a few games, did that open up your eyes to any other reality, or make you give you some trepidation about, oh, everything's not just perfect?
I knew injuries were a part of the game, but it was just crazy because it was my shoe, and I just blew right through it. So, I mean, it was eye-opening in a sense, and like, wow, like literally anything can happen. So, yeah, that perspective was eye-opening.
So Zion, let's talk about on the court. We know you can rebound the basketball. We know you can score. And everybody's going to talk about this three-point shooting. But give me another area that you want to work on from day one that make you a more complete player.
My mid-range, my post-mid-range game. I think if I can add that to my arsenal, I think I can be a very good player.
And also posting up. What's your thoughts on you getting down on the block and posting up?
Oh, like I have no problem doing that. Like, just got to read my matchup.
You know what I liked about that, Jerry? You see his mind? He's oh, no problem. That's the one thing I like. And just for you to see that you'll be able to post up, you'll be able to face up. And I think the one thing is that people got to realize is the way you approach the game as a winner. Where does that come from?
Playing on the outdoor courts in McLeod Park in Florence, South Carolina. If you win, you stay on the court. If you lose, you off the court, and your team over there arguing like, man, whose fault was it? Like something happened. So I just wanted to stay on the court, so I just got a winner's mindset.
You didn't come off the court early too often.
Nah, not too often.
Zion, you're in such a unique position in this social media era that we live in, and all the attention that you've received from your high school days up until now, and the expectations. And I know you've talked a lot about that, but have you reached out to anybody, or is anybody in the league who can at least understand a little bit of what you're going through, reached out to you and offered any advice?
The Duke players that come back, I always ask them questions, and the answer is usually the same. Just be the best version of myself I can be, and I stick with that.
Yeah, and when you talk about being the best version of yourself, what are some of your goals in your first year? We're not talking about, being MVP or anything like that. What are some of your small goals that you have that you want to accomplish from day one?
To know that I helped my team win. Know that I had an impact on the game. That I have a great role. Like knowing that whenever something was needed, my team never had a second thought that, all right, Zion can get this done for us.
Now, when you're back on the park playing, who were some of the players that you looked up to in the NBA? Who were some of your role models that you said, I want to be like him, I want to play like him?
My stepdad was very old school, so he would tell me to look at players like Michael Jordan, Larry Bird, and Magic Johnson. And for me, it was Michael Jordan because, he was obviously an assassin on offense, but he was an assassin on defense. Like, he was ready to guard the best player anytime, and I think I respect that the most about him, that he was just as good on defense as he was offense.
Now, assuming that Griff likes his job and doesn't want to be back working with us, he will select you Thursday night, number 1 overall. The Pelicans have gone through an interesting time, obviously, with hiring Griff and him now executing this trade with Anthony Davis. Is there any part of you that has been curious to know why Anthony Davis no longer wanted to be a member of the New Orleans Pelicans?
Not at all. Anthony Davis is a grown man. He probably has a great team around him. So at the end of the day, it's a business. So he probably did what was best for him.
Now, when you went through your workouts, so you've been through some workouts, right? Your workouts with teams, right?
Nah, he didn't need to do that. Come on.
Nah. But just in then talking, like
he did as many workouts as you did this week.
Yeah, I just wanted to see it. Trying to get some information out of it. But the one also aspect is you get fouled a lot. How much have you worked on just the nuances to get to that free throw line? Because you're going to live at the line. And that's the one area I think that can really improve your game. And how much have you worked on it?
A lot. Because my stepdad says the same thing. He goes, you're going to live at the free throw line. So almost after every drill, shoot 10, 15 free throws, run till I can't really breathe. And just be like, all right, let's knock him down. Like, can't leave until you knock him down. So I've worked on it a lot.
Zion, assuming the Pelicans keep the 4th pick, if they indeed still have that in their control, is there any particular person in this draft class you'd like to see on your team in the NBA?
If I'm being biased, one of the Duke boys. But if it's not them, I think any player here has put the work in. I think they're ready to ball. So I'll be ready to play with anybody they select.
Now draft night is coming. You know, we got to know about the attire. You know, you have something special that you know gonna bring out for draft night.
Man, I'm a simple dude. I just want to walk across the stage and grab
Oh,
my
in your
hat.
jersey, so you're just gonna be in a jersey?
Like, man, if I could wear sweats, I'd probably do that.
So hold on, are you saying your on-court game is stronger than your fashion game?
Very much so. Very much so.
So is there any chance though you won't be looking clean?
All right. I mean, I gotta look clean,
Right.
obviously,
Right.
but I obviously can't tell y'all what I'm
There
gonna
you
wear.
go. There you go.
Anything special that we should look for? Any surprises with the outfit?
I think the hat. I think the hat would be the best
That's
part.
the best part.
I think
All
the
right.
hat's the best part.
Interesting. We got a hat coming out on stage for Zion Williamson. Thank you so much.
Appreciate you.
Appreciate you joining us here, and don't get sick of us because we're going to be speaking to you a lot. All right?
Thank you.
Congrats.
We got plenty more to come here on the 2019 NBA Draft Future Stars presented by State Farm. Smitty and Greenberg coming to you from New York City at the Grand Hyatt. NBA Draft Future Stars presented by State Farm. Steve Smith, Jared Greenberg. If there's anything we learned from today, we've got a pretty humble class of top prospects that are coming into the league.
Hey, you're so right, Jared. And usually most of the guys are humble, but I'm with you. I think this class might have been the most thoughtfulness.
Yeah.
They were selfless. Really wanted to take the attention off them. Unbelievable class, unbelievable gentlemen we have coming in this 2019 draft.
Obviously, so much hype surrounding Zion. We know that he is going to make a huge difference in New Orleans. Then there's really, we've heard so much about the next two guys, Ja and then R.J. Barrett, more than likely. But now Darius Garland, maybe the Knicks are strongly considering him if they work him out today. But who is outside that top 3 or 4 list that you think could truly be a difference maker?
You know, like you said, Garland is one that everybody's talking about because coming out of high school, #1 rated point guard, and obviously we know ratings don't mean anything, but he didn't get a chance to show, you know, what he can do. And all these workouts, I've been hearing that he's been fantastic. Another guy that I didn't think get a chance to show as much as his ability was Cam Reddish at Duke, obviously playing with R.J. Barrett and obviously Zion Williamson. There's not a lot of left for the third guy, but I think he's another guy. But I would think the guy for me is that's solid, that will be there from day one, is DeAndre Hunter. When you look at his stats and look at his numbers, you can't really go by him because Tony Bennett in Virginia, they play so slow.
Yeah.
So you almost got to add 2 or 3 to every category when you play at Virginia. He's so fundamentally sound. I thought during the tournament, especially in the Final Four, you started to see more of his offensive game, and I think that can improve even more. His defensive game is there in all the intangibles.
All right, that's going to wrap up our coverage from the Grand Hyatt in New York City, but our Marathon Thursday will go strong. Hopefully you can join us beginning with our NBA TV